Welcome to the Shake Up Podcast. I'm your host and co-founder of Mr. Consistent, Jared Bell. This is a podcast where we invite friends of the brand into our studio. We get to know their story a little bit better. We chat all things business, culture and marketing, all while shaking up a few cocktails.
Probably most people would know me from MAFS.
Yeah.
So that was 5 years ago? And then most recently, I just came out of the jungle from I'm a Celebrity, Get Me Out of Here. And that was amazing. If you don't like someone, you're not going to go and pretend that you like someone, which I didn't read the How to Survive Reality TV handbook, because you are supposed to fake it until you make it, which I didn't know. I was just if you don't like someone, then...
Fuck, what kind of waivers did you have to sign?
Some big ones. I did
What's the insurance like?
Yeah, no, I did not read the small print well enough.
Welcome to another episode of the Shake Up. Special guest, long-time friend of mine, Davina Rankin.
Hello.
How the bloody hell are you?
Hi, good. We're sober for once. I'm not asking you to play single ladies for once. So, yeah, hi. Nice to chat to you.
It's been so long. I know we always used to go backwards and forwards on Instagram. I had my daughter first and she's 4 and you were just we were just chatting about it and then you had yours and I followed yours and it's so cool to see people growing families, people that you've and do other things grow into who they are. So
yeah, people who you don't think could be responsible enough to look after little children.
Two club rats from back in the day.
Yeah,
both with families.
Yeah, I know. It just seems like another lifetime ago, doesn't it? And it's just this is what life is all about right now. I think this is good.
I'm loving life. Going to bed at 7:30, 8 o'clock.
Yeah, I know. Don't you dare ask me to go out for birthday dinner or anything. Long lunches is where it's at for us now.
Long lunches, dinner's in the too hard basket.
Yeah, absolutely.
For those who don't know who you are, I know you very well, but tell us little bit about you and where you grew up and how you got to where you are today.
Well, my name's Davina Rankin. I'm from Brizzy. I don't know. I guess I kind of started out doing what most people from Brisbane and the Gold Coast do, and that's promo.
Yeah,
promo.
Yeah.
I worked for Monster Energy for years.
That's where me and Tom
would have
who
met.
Also works here, that we used to DJ, where we first met was Monster Energy. It was a pool party or something.
Probably. It does not surprise me. That was my life. That's what I didn't have to do anything but think about what kind of outfit I would wear. But anyway, so I used to do a lot of promo, a lot of modeling back in the day, Zoo magazine, all that kind of stuff. And then from there kind of got into the reality TV world. So did little stints on First Dates and Big Brother, and then probably most people would know me from MAFS.
Yeah.
So that was 5 years ago. And then most recently I just came out of the jungle from I'm a Celebrity, Get Me Out of Here. And that was amazing. But in my downtime, I am a mum of a beautiful 2-year-old daughter, and I have a little range of holistic kids books that keep me nice and busy. So
that's cool.
Yeah.
Because when we first, met, we were doing the club, obviously the club thing, the promo thing, but you had, you've always had, that bit of entrepreneurial spirit inside. I know you had a clothing range for a long period of time.
Studio.
And then you do a women's lunch thing, and that kind of led you into women's business and women's lunches and those kind of things. And then obviously the Instagram thing really started popping off in and around that area.
Yeah.
And your following just went through the roof from all the Zoo mag stuff.
Yeah.
And then how did the the MAFS thing even come about? Did they approach you, or were you fuck, let's be real here. You weren't hard up for finding dudes in Brisbane,
no.
Dudes are throwing themselves at you.
Oh, not even. But yeah, I got approached for MAFS, just because like you said, I was kind of in that scene anyway and knew a lot of people. So I got offered that opportunity. And yeah, so I was you know what? I'm super single. And like you said, I already had a following and stuff. So I was what can go wrong? Everyone already knows me. I've had a following for years. So, why not? Let's give it a shot. And yeah, whatever happens, happens. And it was an absolute whirlwind.
It looked like madness.
It is madness.
Did you get on there and just fuck it, I'm just going to be me and do whatever the fuck I want anyway? Is it I'm actually going to give it a go? Or were you sold on, this is a question that I have for all people that go on this, that we actually sold on the idea of scientifically or whatever it is that this person could be the right person for me, I'm going to give it a go, or I'm just actually going to trust my gut and I don't give a shit about what the producers or I'm just going to do what I want anyway, like how I feel.
Think back then, no one really knew much about reality TV. Like it was still very like, you know, mysterious. Like, you know, you think The Bachelor's The Bachelor. Like you don't really think about how much goes into behind the scenes.
Oh, the production crew and all
But
that
now
stuff,
we know because everyone, like it's kind of, you know, we've seen the show Unreal. Like you know people who've been on like
that
every
changed
second
my life,
show.
that show.
I wish I had watched it. Someone should have given me a heads up about that because I was like, you know, I'm just me. Like I'm not, you know, if I don't like something, I'll say it. But also like I throw a lot of banter and I'm like very sarcastic and like I absolutely can be very offensive if you like don't. If things are taken out of context and everything was.
Which everything's taken out. I was watching it going, fuck, this is literally her, but taken out of context.
Oh, like if we were sitting down having a chat, like you would not be like overly offended. Yeah. So it's like watching it back, you're like, oh yes, I did say it, but I didn't mean it like this and that. And like in my head, it was just like quite logical. Like if you don't like someone, you're not going to like go and pretend that you like someone, which I didn't read like the How to Survive Reality TV handbook because you are supposed to fake it until you make it, which I didn't know. I was just like, oh, if you don't like someone, then, you know, I'm just going to tell them I don't like them. But there's a lot that happens behind the scenes too. You know, like when you get asked how your day was, you're like, yeah, my day was good. What didn't you like about your day? Oh, I didn't like this, this, and this. What did you know, what was the funniest thing about the day? So every single question is loaded in a way that they can kind of pick and choose how. And
cut two different questions together.
Totally. So that's something that I didn't quite understand about MAFS or reality TV at all until I watched it back and I just didn't realize how bad things would look. But in the grand scheme of things now, I think my season was probably the least hectic like, you know,
they get pretty gnarly.
Well, yeah, I'm like, I never kissed anyone. Like my affair was just this huge blown out of proportion thing where like I actually hadn't even like kissed anyone or done it, like, you know what I mean? Whereas like now people like throwing wine on each other and all this stuff and it's like glorified.
I feel like they've gone, you know what, we know it's kind of not scripted but like edited. I want to be the villain that gets the most airtime, or I want to be the dick, or I want to be the person that has an affair or whatever it is, so they get airtime. Yeah. Because I feel like most of the people who go on those shows now have some sort of ulterior motive to grow some sort of following or have some sort of that fame and try and make some sort of career out of it.
There are people that have gone on the show and maybe like I copped a lot of shit, but I think I had to like retreat a lot. But
I feel like you came out and then just was like, you just went like disappeared into
completely. And for me, that was the best thing I could have done. But other people like, you know, have copped shit and then exploded. Like, look at Martha, Just Power. Like those girls are killing it, you know. But I think for like my own personal space and like mental health and stuff, like I actually had to retreat, but it worked out being the best thing that I could have done in that situation for me. But yeah, definitely I think people go on there and they're like, okay, like I'm going to turn this around and try and get as much out of the experience as I can. So yeah, for sure.
That's cool. Did you meet your fiance after because I feel like when you like started posting photos with him, I feel like I'd seen him around in Brisbane like lots of times before.
No, so his sister actually was a DJ.
Yeah, right.
So you may have like crossed paths at
He was very familiar when you started posting photos with him.
Yeah, well we've been friends for years. Yeah, okay. So we've known each other forever. And we used to do the old like pash and dash on the dance floor all the time. You know how it is. Those are the days. Now we don't even have 2 minutes alone to pash, but anyway. So yeah, we have known each other forever, and then we kind of just like became really solid through the whole MAFS thing. And I think that speaks volumes about, you know, the type of person he is and our relationship and stuff, because it was like a really tough time. So yeah, he was just like an absolute legend and like was my rock through the whole thing, which is really nice.
And then now you guys are engaged?
Yeah, man, getting married in like a couple of months. 10 weeks. I shouldn't say that because everyone's been asking me about what month it is and trying to get all the gossip. But yeah, it's like the countdown's on.
How cool. That's amazing. And where are you doing it? Or is this like one of those tabloid things? Where
That's why I'm like, I've been getting hit up. No, I'm like, I don't want PAPS there.
Yeah, fair enough.
But no, it's beautiful. It's quite local, which is nice because of COVID. Like I was like, I can't really ask too much of people because you don't.
Who's
know
your
what's
DJ
happen.
actually? Where's my
What, are you free?
Might be.
What are you guys doing? Yeah. No, you'd be charging a premium now. I'm already exhausted all of the funds.
It's for fun only now.
But although you can supply the drinks.
Yeah.
If you like.
Absolutely.
I'm not laughing. I'm being dead serious.
No, I'm
anyway.
deadly serious. Anything for people to have a good time.
Yeah, I'm all about it. But yeah, no, we're so excited. And it's all like come together really well. And I just can't wait. Like it's going to be really great.
That's so cool. Because you messaged me like, I think we were in like week 6 or 7 of building Mr. Consistent. Like it was all systems go. Like we just signed our lease. Yeah. And you text me and you're like, hey, can you illustrate a kid's book for me? And I was like, yeah, I'll do it. And then it just obviously having no respect for my own time or yours. I was like, yeah, I'll get you a quote. And then it just obviously never came. And then you found somebody else to do it. But I was like,
it's fine.
You just have those, like when you have a kid, like I had a kid shop when we first had Lola.
Oh, wow.
And we started a business and like, I was just fully entranced in kids clothing and like, it's something new. It's something fun. I was like, I can make a sick kid shop. I can do it. Is that kind of what happened with you? Like, I love reading my daughter books. I love looking at books. And yet like it was like we had a full bookshelf in our kids store of all these rad books that you couldn't get in Kmart and you couldn't get here and there and like local artists and local, all those kind of things. Is that kind of what happened with, I guess, the making the kids book?
Yes.
Sorry, I couldn't illustrate it.
No, it's
I would have
totally
loved
fine.
it because I would have been able to be like my daughter. I would have been like, hey, Dad did this.
You're a busy man. It is all good. But yeah, so I think I just like really, since having Mila, like I did the whole like postnatal depression thing and like kind of was like, well, as you know, like your whole world gets turned around after you have a baby.
I did a video on it and like for me, I couldn't even get back to work.
Yeah.
Like I just wanted to spend time with her. I didn't want to do anything else. I didn't want to see anybody else. I just wanted to be with her all of the time. And like when she would go to kindy, I'd miss her or I couldn't concentrate at work. Like it was really hard.
Yeah. And like, it's a different life to what you're used to living. So anyway, I had to kind of like just pull myself back out and was like, you know, like, a lot of self-development happened over the last year and I'm just in a great place, feel really great. And I think like not even when I was younger did I even spend this much time on myself and like, you know, my self-worth and all this kind of stuff. So anyway, one day I was driving home and I was listening to this song. It was like a Vera Blue song called like Lady Powers or something. And I was like, oh, like I was like really feeling it. I'm like, yeah, my lady powers. Like, I'm like, man, I really hope that my daughter can feel like this and can know how worthy she is and know how like, you know, she's a boss ass bitch. She's only 1.5, but like, you know, she knows just
what
like
she wants
independent.
And she knows how she wants it.
Yeah, and I want her to stay this way. Yeah. So that's what kind of inspired it. Like I just wanted to create you know, a collection of books that can really help, you know, motivate kids and help kids like, you know, with their self-worth and mindfulness and just all of the things I kind of never knew about until I was like 30.
Yeah.
Like you don't do this stuff for yourself. And like our parents just come from a completely different generation. So it's a really nice reminder for the parents who are reading these books like Empowered Moo or Mindful Moo. It's like a little gentle reminder for us as, you know, adults as well. Like, hey, we can do this stuff too, because I don't think we really spent that much time doing it for ourselves. So yeah, if I can teach my little one these practices that I live by now, then like, wow, the world is her oyster. So
parenting is such a, like a selfless job. Like you just, everything you give to them, you like all the money you make goes on them.
Oh, yeah.
Like everything, your time, everything. Like you feel guilty. Like even for me, if I go for a surf and I know she's at home on a Saturday morning and it gets like 6:30, I know she's awake. I'm like, fuck, I want to get out of the water and I go home and spend time with her.
Dad guilt.
Yeah, like the guilt of like going home and spending as much time with her as I can, but then the extra half an hour could do me the world of good just by myself in the ocean, enjoying myself. So it's really like, that's really nice that it's like angled around that as well. Cause it's super important to give yourself those hours
totally
by yourself doing the things that you love to do, and not feel guilty about not being there 100% of the time or whatever.
This episode is brought to you by Shake Up Studios. To thank you for your support, head to mrconsistent.com.au and use code SHAKEUP10 at checkout for your discounted Mr. Consistent cocktails today.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think like you have to fill your own cup up before you fill everyone else's. You know, you've got how many employees? You've got your baby girl, you've got your dog, you got the wife. Like you do need to do these things for you. And that's something that I really had to learn. I've had to like stop helicopter mumming and take a step back and just kind of like, you know, do things for myself and help myself grow. And like when you do, you realize the kids actually don't miss you that much. Like as important as we
walk
are.
in the door and she's just like,
oh, yeah.
I'm in my room playing. I'm
she
like,
had no
hey,
idea
I'm home.
you were
She's
gone.
like, cool, fucking whatever.
Yeah, exactly. Just cracking open a cocktail. Like, Dad, I didn't even notice you were gone. So it's just all of that kind of thing is what's inspired the books. And
What do you do for yourself? Like what are your things that make you, I guess, fill your cup up?
Oh my gosh. I'm just like a daily ritual person is like, that's just me. So I've kind of just figured out that like, if I can just fill my day up with like a lot of things that make me happy, then I'm going to have a good day.
Yeah.
So it's like, whether that's waking up a little bit earlier and making myself like a nice tea where I can sit by myself, like that's like bliss as a parent, like just quiet time by yourself.
Sitting outside,
fresh
air.
And like going for a walk, like I have a sauna at home, like, you know, half an hour in the sauna. It sounds really selfish, but like I do a lot. Like I spend a lot of time, whether it's replying to comments and messages and emails and like, you know, going on podcasts, and like I give a lot of myself away.
Yeah.
So I really do have to
We
spend the
appreciate
time.
it.
Thanks. I like being here. But yeah, like I do have to spend that extra time on myself. And even if it is like, it sounds so boring. I wish I had like a better thing for you. But even if it's just like creating really nice meals for me and my family, I enjoy that stuff.
I was going to ask you, do you still do the PT thing? Because you were like, you used to train hard. Like you would train yourself and you would train others like all day, every day.
Yeah.
So,
I love that you remember that. Yeah. No, so I don't I actually stopped training people when I was 39 weeks pregnant.
Yeah, it makes sense.
Yeah. And then it was like COVID and all that kind of stuff. But now like obviously like with the show and all that kind of stuff, I just have to kind of be a bit smarter with my time.
Yeah.
And PT is like a very hands-on job and it takes a lot of time. So at the moment it's not something that is a number one priority, but I would love to get back in there because I love doing that with people.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. Like it's a release of endorphins and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, exactly. And I love hearing everyone's goss. Like it's like coming on
the hairdresser.
Tell me everything, Sarah. I can't wait to hear about it. Yeah.
It's like they're literally like going to the hairdresser. Eh?
Yeah.
So funny. How do you like? Obviously, you did the whole celebrity get me out of here thing. How did that come about? Because like obviously spending the MAFS thing and knowing what reality TV can do and then disappearing and being like, fuck, that was pretty hectic. Did they approach you again and you were like, did you and ah again, or did you just be like, fuck, I've done it once, what's the worst can happen now? Like, and it's a completely different experience, obviously. Like it's for people who don't like know exactly what it is, can you explain it?
Sure.
Like,
so basically, I'm a Celebrity Get Me Out of Here is one of the shows that you really enjoy watching because you can watch it in the comfort of your own home, knowing you never have to do any of the psycho things that the people on TV are doing. Like it's stuff from your nightmares, like crawling through sewers with toads and vomit and like just the worst kind of nightmare, heights, all that kind of stuff that you could only dream about is in that show. But you are doing it for a charity. So you win $100,000. You kind of conquer your fears. You go in there. Well, that's the idea. You go in there, conquer your fears, and you literally are living in the jungle. I thought it was a set. I'm like, maybe they take us to a hotel at night. But no, can confirm you are living, breathing, shitting, showering in the jungle.
where was it? Because was it filmed in Australia?
It's in Australia now, only because of COVID, usually in South Africa.
Yeah, right.
But yeah, and you're in there with 12 or 13 other celebrities, or what you would call a celebrity. I'm absolutely like the most D-list celebrity out of all of them. There's like Olympians and stuff in there with me. But yeah, so I was like, I got the call from the EP. I had worked with on Big Brother in 2009.
Yeah.
And he's like, look, you're the first person I've called. I think this could be great for you. Would you want to do I'm a Celebrity, Get Me Out of Here? And I was like, no, absolutely not.
Did you watch it before they
I know all about this. Like, no, I don't want to eat maggots. I don't want to do any of this kind of stuff. Like, that's crazy. And then he's like, look, just think about it. Like, everyone who has gone on the show has never come out regretting it. And they said it's just a life-changing thing because, like, when can anyone ever say that they've gone and lived, like, fully roughed it?
Yeah.
No tent, nothing, like just sleeping in a sack out in the bush and, you know, conquering all these fears. And I'm like, I'll think about it. And then so obviously my PTSD is like, don't go on reality TV again ever. But, you know, I spoke to my family, I spoke to my fiance, and everyone was just like, you know what? I think you'd kill it. I think you'd do so good. And I like am in such a great place mentally. And I was like, you know what? I think I could do it and I think I'd kill it and I think I'd make my family really proud. And I know it's a beautiful family show. There's none of that kind of drama. There's no suspenseful music when someone walks down, you know, the corridor or anything like that. There's none of those.
It's not like Survivor where they put your torch out or like
no,
like the gossipy kind of part.
No, that's it. And like you're in there for your charity as well. My charity was the Martyr Foundation, Martyr Little Miracles.
Yeah.
And I'm like, like I'm going to do this. I've still got some fire left in me. And as a mum, like being a new mum through COVID especially, I was like very comfortable in my little bubble at home. So for me to even just be like, I'm going to get out there and like actually do this work.
How long was it for?
It was, I can't tell you too much, but the show airs for a month.
Gotcha.
Yes. I still got a little contract that I signed that I can't tell you too much. Sorry.
Couple of NDAs.
Yeah.
Oh, is it like my question was based around like how long were you actually away from your daughter? Like that for me would have been the hardest thing.
Yeah, so not only was I in the jungle, but I actually had to quarantine for like a week prior. And I'd never even been away from her longer than like 2 days or 3 days. So that before I even got in there, I was like missing her.
Yeah.
But like we were saying before, like she did not even notice. She was just like, meh, grandparents, chocolate cookies. Like she was having the best time.
Distractions everywhere.
Yeah. So when I said yes, I was like, you know, I actually felt really calm about the whole thing because I think I just knew where I was in my life and I just knew what I wanted to do. And like I'm not there to be bitchy or fight for love or any of that kind of stuff. Like that, it's not that kind of thing.
Literally keep your stomach in your stomach.
That's it. And you know what? It was the most amazing experience of my life. And I never thought I would say that. But apparently everyone says that. And everyone that I was with, like we still text every single day in a group chat. Like we're like family. And they all feel the exact same way.
Is it aired and like gone to air?
Yeah, it's done.
Yeah, it's
so
done.
The finals was like 2 nights ago. So I'm a little hungover today because we just spent 3 days in Sydney all together. Yeah. Yeah.
How good. I couldn't imagine. I watched I don't watch TV, but I watched a couple of clips on your Instagram and I went through it and it was like someone climbing through like there's like rats and like someone was like pumping, I don't know, sewage onto somebody like.
Oh, no, she was pumping the light to stay on because if she stopped, then we'd be with the rats.
It sounds like a runny shit, like landing on him and stuff.
Oh, it was a runny shit, yeah.
Oh, that's so cool. What kind of what kind of waivers did you have to sign?
Some big ones. I did not.
What's the insurance like?
Yeah, no, I did not read the small print well enough because I was like, no, surely you can't be eating real stuff. Surely this and one of the guys, like Nathan Buckley, is like he's
an AFL player. Yeah,
amazing, legend, and they had an eating trial, right? And he's like the big dad of the camp, right?
Yeah,
like huge.
He's a big dude. He was like
weapon. Absolute weapon. And it's like he's the bionic man. Nothing could buckle him. Pun intended, Nathan Buckley. Anyway, so he had to eat like a pig's dick with a like jalapeno or something in it. Disgusting, right? Anyway, that night he was like my roommate. So he was next to me, and that afternoon he was just like, oh, I don't feel so well. And he got up and then he ended up fully fainting and blacking out in front of everyone, hit his head like on a rock. And everyone was just, this is like the 3rd day in and we're all like, oh my God, this is real. Like, and it's because I think something to do with like his blood pressure and the heat of the whatever. I don't even know.
The jalapeno.
Or whether or not he just did it to get a couple of jelly beans, a sneaky bastard. I don't know. But like,
your blood sugar's down.
Yeah, like to see someone like him go down in that way, you're kind of like, well, there is like real risk involved, and you're not just like, you know, oh, our celebrities that just look like they're roughing it. Like, you're fully roughing it and you're eating weird stuff. And like, even my heights challenge, like I was so petrified because I was like, yes, there's like 200 crew here, but like, what if one thing goes wrong? Like, I was like 50 stories in the air. Like, it was, don't quote me, it might not have been 50 stories. I'm not really good with
like, I'm shit scared of heights. Like,
heights is what kills me. So I'll give me anything to eat, like, you know, critters and stuff. Like, I don't really care about animals or snakes or whatever, but heights is what kills me. So imagine a crane, right? I had to climb. First of all, climbing a crane, like ladder vibes, is like hard. I was like, I did like 5 and I was like, fuck, I'm so unfit. So anyway, it's like swaying, and then I had to go out on like these ledges that were like shooting off and like having to hit flares, but I would have to like empty vomit bags and like carry a tray of like glasses and champagne over, you know, those like vibrating floor things. One whole thing was vibrating floors. And I was like 20 stories in the air. Yeah, it was nuts. So, and then at the end, I had to do this huge leap of faith and like grab this star and just fall. And I did it. It was amazing.
Holy shit.
I know. So I'm just stoked with the experience.
Wow. That's loose. That is so loose. I'm literally speechless. Like, do you open up to people there? Like, because you're obviously like super vulnerable.
Well, trauma bonds you like nothing else.
That's what I mean. Like, literally, like you're so distraught, and you're going through these things with other people that obviously have deep dark secrets or things they've never told people, or like they just for some reason start to open up because literally trauma. Like the bonding of it. Like,
and like. That's the weird thing. Like, I initiated this okay, so after Nathan Buckley died on that day, we were all just like really rattled, and we were like, you know, everyone was crying, feeling anxious, wanted to go home, like all that stuff. And I was like, this is like my hippie woo-woo shit came out. And I was like, let's have a gratitude circle and tell everyone what we love about one another. Mind you, we've only been together like 4 days at this point, and we're talking to each other and crying and just telling each other what, you know, how we see each person.
Yeah.
And it was one of the most beautiful experiences. Like, oh my God, it was just amazing. There's something about like strangers telling you how they see you is just so powerful. And from there, we were just kind of like, we were all just had this beautiful bond, and we all shared, you know, everything together. It was really nice.
You would have just been like cheering each other on from then on, you know.
Totally.
Like, my daughter loves a gratitude circle. Like,
yeah.
Wherever we got a friend over, she's like, Dad, can we ask everyone what they're grateful for, or like what they love? Like, it's so funny. Like,
I usually do this. Like, I literally make my friends do this after a couple of margaritas. I'm like, I love you because you dress so well. And so, yeah, this is me like after a couple of drinks, and all of my friends were messaging me like, oh my God, I'm pissing myself because I can't believe you made these people do a gratitude circle and you're sober as well. But yeah.
Are you done with reality TV now, or what?
Oh, never say never.
Never say never.
No, you know what? Like, after that, like, it's not all, you know, horrible. So I kind of closed that chapter in my life of like being so scared of putting myself out there.
Yeah.
Like I'm kind of open to everything, and there's like some exciting stuff happening. So yeah,
that's cool.
Stay tuned.
What's next? What is next?
I'll have to get you to sign an NGO. No, but there's some exciting opportunities popping up, which is great, and another book, and just a kind of like more kids stuff in that holistic wellness space.
That's
so
cool.
Yeah,
seems like you found your groove and like the things you love, and like super happy with where you are in life.
It only took 30 years, but we got there.
I tell you what, putting a small human really puts things in perspective, and the things that matter in life and all those kind of things. So makes a big difference.
Do you look at your like single babyless friends and you're just like, Wow. We were hungover on Saturday and we just got to, because Mila was still in Brisbane and we were in Sydney, and we got to just lay in bed and watch a thriller series for 5 hours. And I was like, this is why my single friends can do this. They don't have to think about anyone. They can just go out and drink and lay and not do anything. I'm like, wow, you forget how much responsibility you have as a mom or a dad and stuff like that. So it's funny, it's amazing when you start to see those people progress into that part of their life and you're like, oh yes,
I'm some days I'm jealous, but then some days I'm
oh, nothing
maybe
beats it.
But then I'm then I think, well, maybe they're they could be jealous of what I have with her. Tom, who's my best mate, who also works here, he has this amazing relationship with her. Their bond is if she runs to the door when he comes over, she doesn't run to the door when I come home.
I feed you.
Yeah, I feed you. I put this roof over your head, but she'll run to the door for him. So it is quite fun having I don't know, a lot of friends that don't have kids and she's got the beautiful relationship with them and they fit into your life really well when you get that little bit older. So
totally.
Cool.
And then they get to give the kids back and go, see ya.
Yeah.
Off to the pub.
Yeah, I'm off to the pub.
That's it.
Do you want to come? Oh, that's right. You can't.
You stay home and cook and mop.
Yeah,
that's
literally.
what you do best. Yeah.
Literally. Where can people buy the books from?
So my website is called ohmymoo.com. Yes. So there's Mindful Moo and Empowered Moo there. And third book to be released very soon.
Cool. And has it got Instagram or anything attached to it?
Yep. So we've Empowered Moo Instagram and then my personal one is DaviXX.
DaviXX.
Yeah. It sounds like a lot. It sounds very, but that was actually the only thing that popped up when I started Instagram 500 years ago.
Somebody already had Davi.
Yeah, someone had Davina Rankin, but yeah, so DaviXX it is.
Thank you so much for coming in. Give Davina a follow. If you've got kids, go buy the books.
Yeah, that would be great.
That'd be awesome.
Thanks.
Thank you so much for coming down. I really appreciate it.
Thank you. I love it.
See you soon. Perfect.
Amazing.
Thank you. That's today's episode. I hope you enjoyed it. You know the drill. Like, subscribe, leave a review. Go show the Shake Up some love and stay connected. Don't forget you can watch all of our episodes on YouTube. Also, jump over to our Shake Up Cocktail Gang Facebook page where you can find out who's coming up on the podcast. And if you've got questions for them, I'll ask the bloody questions. You can also use the code SHAKEUP for 10% off on mrconsistent.com.au. Thank you so much for listening. And just remember, shit that's fresh.